At the bank, my sister pushed papers toward me and said, "Just sign, it's routine." Her husband gripped my arm tight. I quietly slipped a note to the manager that read, "Help under duress." He locked the glass door and I'd faced ambushes in combat, but nothing prepared me for the ambush my own family sprang on me in a quiet bank office. It wasn't just about money, it was about betrayal so deep, it felt like a knife to the gut, and I swore I wouldn't let them take one more thing from me. The morning started quiet enough. I had a short list on the kitchen table. Milk, bread, call the bank. That last one, bank, was underlined twice. No accident. I was 47, home on leave from the army after another deployment, and I wasn't about to let anyone rush me into signing something without reading it. That habit had saved my life more than once overseas. Here at home, it was about to matter again. I was sipping black coffee when I heard a car pull up in the driveway, way earlier than expected. It was my sister, Melissa. She never showed up this early unless she wanted something. I could already feel the shift in the air, a tightening in my gut. Melissa walked in with that fake cheerful voice she used when she wanted to bulldoze you without making it sound like she was bulldozing you. "Jess, you ready for a quick trip to the bank? Got everything all set for you." Behind her, Tyler, her husband, strode in. He didn't bother with fake sweetness. He gave me a curt nod, the kind men give when they think they're in charge of a situation. I didn't like it. Tyler had always been pushy, but today, he looked like he'd already decided how this morning was going to go. My stomach tightened. "Morning," I said, not moving from my chair. "What's the rush?" "No rush," Melissa said, too quickly. "It's just some paperwork we'll get out of the way. You'll feel better once it's done." She was already looking around the kitchen like she owned the place. Her eyes went straight to my keys on the counter. Tyler grabbed them before I could. He twirled them in his hand, smiling like he was doing me a favor. "I'll drive. No sense in you worrying about traffic." Alarms screamed in my head. I never let anyone else grab my keys. Not at home. Not anywhere. In the army, you learn that if you let someone take control of your ride, you've already lost half the fight. But I kept my voice even. "I'm fine to drive." He smirked. "Relax, Captain. Just trying to make your life easier." The way he said Captain wasn't respect. It was a jab, a reminder that I wasn't on base anymore. I was in his little world now. Melissa jumped in before I could answer. "Jess, please let him drive. You'll see, it's routine. We'll be back before lunch." That word, routine, was already grating on me. In the military, when someone said routine, I always assumed the opposite. Routine meant watch your back. And here it was again, in my own kitchen. I slipped on a jacket and made sure the small pen recorder was clipped where it looked like nothing special. I'd picked it up on my last trip home, half out of habit. Now I was damn glad I did. I tucked my wallet and ID into my purse along with a plain envelope I'd prepared. Inside were 4 words written in block letters: "Help. Under duress." I didn't know if I'd need it, but I wasn't going to the bank blind. When we got outside, Tyler opened the car door for me, but not politely. He opened it in a way that said, "I'm controlling where you go next." I got in without a fuss. Sometimes you let the other side think they've got the upper hand. That's how you stay 3 steps ahead. Melissa slid into the back seat with a folder hugged tight to her chest. That folder looked heavy, not from the paper, but from whatever scheme was stuffed inside it. The ride started with small talk. Tyler talked about the weather, a sale at the hardware store, how banks make things harder than they needed to. Melissa nodded along, chirping about how this paperwork would make life so much easier for me. I sat in silence, watching the road signs go by, counting the turns. In combat, you learn terrain awareness. At home, you still use it. I noted every corner we took, every landmark, every route they chose. If something went south, I wasn't about to be confused about where I was. Melissa leaned forward and tapped my shoulder, too sweet on the surface. "Jess, this will really reduce your stress. You'll just sign, and we'll handle the rest. 1 signature, and you can forget about bills." She said it like she was offering me a vacation. I didn't buy it for a second. At the next red light, she opened the folder just enough so I could see the top page. Big black letters stared at me, "Power of attorney." She angled it toward me like I was too slow to get it. My pulse kicked up, but my face didn't show it. I just tapped the folder closed with 1 finger. "I'll read it at the bank," I said evenly. Tyler's jaw flexed. Melissa's smile froze for half a second before she pasted it back on. The car smelled like Tyler had sprayed something strong to cover up old fast food grease. I cracked the window just a little. I needed fresh air. I thought back to when Melissa and I were kids, when she'd boss me around just because she was older by 3 years. Back then it was small stuff. Who got the front seat, who held the remote. Now it was about my house, my savings, my future. Same playbook, bigger stakes. I counted my breathing the way I used to before patrols. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Slow, steady, no panic. That was the difference between walking into a trap and walking out of one. Melissa kept chattering about how everything was for my own good. Tyler kept driving like he owned the road. I sat quiet, watching, waiting. The bank came into view around the corner. The Riverdale Community Bank, a small town branch with its clean windows and potted plants out front. I'd been there dozens of times. Today, it felt different. Tyler parked right up front like he was making sure there was no easy exit. He hopped out and opened my door again. Careful, he said, as if I was about to fall. I didn't need his help. I stepped out steady, standing tall, shoulders back. I wasn't in uniform, but the stance was still there. You don't forget how to carry yourself after 20+ years in service. Melissa adjusted her blazer and tucked the folder tighter under her arm. This won't take long, she said, too brightly. The sun caught her face, and I could see the tightness around her mouth, the strain under the smile. She was nervous. That told me everything I needed to know. If she believed this was just routine, she wouldn't be nervous. She knew she was pushing her luck. We walked toward the glass doors. Tyler a step ahead like he was leading the charge. Melissa stayed close at my side, a little too close. I could smell her perfume, sharp and sugary, cloying in the morning air. I kept my pace even. My hand brushed my purse just once, confirming the envelope was still there. The 4 words inside were my safety line if things went sideways. The lobby was cool with a faint smell of coffee drifting from somewhere in the back. Customers stood in a short line. The teller at the counter glanced up, Angela Ruiz, young, sharp, someone who actually paid attention. Her eyes landed on the faint bruise. On my forearm, a mark from Tyler's grip the day before when we'd argued about mail. She didn't say anything, but I saw the change in her expression. She looked at me, then at Melissa, pressed against my side, then at Tyler walking too close. The polite smile on her face tightened just a hair. "Good morning," Angela said. Melissa smiled big and fake. Tyler's hand pressed against my elbow, steering me toward the seating area. He put a pen in my hand like it was already decided. "We'll fill it out. You just sign," he whispered low, too close to my ear. His voice had weight in it, the kind that says, "Don't argue." I kept my eyes forward, my face neutral. Inside, every sensor in me was lit. This wasn't just family drama anymore. It was a tactical situation, and I wasn't about to lose it. Tyler's hand pressed harder on my elbow as we moved toward the row of chairs near the window. The pen he shoved into my hand was cheap plastic, the kind banks hand out with their logos, but the weight of it told me what he expected me to do. My sister sat down on one side of me. Tyler dropped into the chair on the other, and I was boxed in before I had a chance to breathe. He leaned forward, dropping the folder on the low table in front of me. Melissa smoothed it out with her palm like it was something precious. She didn't even let me touch it before she flipped it open to a page halfway through. Her finger landed on a blank line. "You just sign right here, Jess," she said sweetly. "One line and we're done." I glanced down at the page, and there it was again, power of attorney. The letters seemed bigger the second time I saw them, like they wanted to jump off the paper and smack me across the face. I set the pen down on the table, not saying a word. Tyler gave a little laugh that had no humor in it. "Come on," he said, keeping his voice low. "Don't make a scene. It's just routine paperwork. Everybody does this sooner or later. You trust family, don't you?" Family? That word landed like a bad taste in my mouth. I thought about all the times I'd pulled Melissa out of messes when we were younger, fights with our parents, money she blew through too fast. Even that time she called me from a county jail in her 20s because she'd been caught shoplifting makeup. Family then meant I'd covered for her. Family now meant she thought she had the right to strip me of everything I had earned. Melissa's hand slid across the table and touched my wrist. Her nails dug in just a little, not enough for anyone across the room to see, but enough for me to feel the warning. "Just please," she whispered. "This will take the stress off you. We'll take care of things. You don't need to worry anymore." I looked at her hand on my wrist, then up at her face. Her smile was tight, her eyes sharp. That wasn't comfort. That was a threat wrapped in sugar. I pulled my hand back slowly and placed both of mine on my lap. No words, just refusal. Tyler straightened and waved toward the teller counter. "Let's see a banker," he called. "We've got documents to review." His voice carried across the lobby, sharper than before. The young teller, Angela, glanced at us, then looked toward the back. A door clicked open and a woman in a navy jacket stepped out. She had her badge clipped at her waist and her hair pulled back neat. Donna Whitaker, the branch manager. I'd met her once before when I set up my checking account. She remembered faces. I could tell by the way her eyes landed on mine. "Good morning," she said warmly. "What can we help you with today, Miss Wardell?" Melissa jumped in before I could speak. "Just routine documents, nothing complicated," she said with a chirpy voice that didn't match the tension at our table. "It'll only take a minute." Donna's gaze flicked from Melissa's folder to Tyler's knee, bouncing fast, then to the way my shoulders stayed a little too stiff. She didn't rush. "Why don't we move to a private office?" she suggested calmly. "That way, we can review everything without distraction." Tyler started to object. "We don't need, it's no trouble," Donna interrupted smoothly. "It's our standard process. We like to make sure customers have privacy." She gestured toward the hallway. Her tone left no room for argument, but it didn't sound aggressive. It sounded professional. Melissa grabbed the folder, stood, and shot me a look that said, "Don't screw this up." I rose slowly, keeping my bag close. As we walked, I caught Angela's eyes at the counter. Just for a moment, long enough that she seemed to read something in my face. She picked up the phone by her elbow and dialed with quiet fingers. The office Donna led us to a small but clean glass-walled door that closed with a light click. A table with 3 chairs. A white noise machine hummed faintly in the corner, the kind that makes sure no one in the hallway can overhear. A small security camera blinked near the ceiling. Donna gestured toward the chairs. "Please make yourselves comfortable." I chose the seat facing the hallway where I could see anyone coming and going. Tyler dropped into the chair across from me, legs spread wide, trying to take up space. Melissa sat close on my right side again, pressing in until her shoulder almost touched mine. She opened the folder wide, tapped a page with her manicured finger, and said, "Just sign here. Don't overthink it. It'll go quick." Donna sat at the edge of the table, folding her hands. "Before we begin, I'll need to make copies of your IDs and scan these forms into our system. That way, everything's on record." She looked at me directly. "Miss Wardell, may I see your ID?" I reached into my purse. My wallet was there, my ID inside. I also felt the envelope, the one with the 4 words written in block letters. I took out my ID and placed it on top of a deposit slip, sliding them across the table. My hand brushed the envelope, but didn't pull it out yet. Timing mattered. Tyler pushed the pen closer to me, his smile tight now. "Go ahead, Jess. Just sign. We've got plans today." Melissa's hand landed on my elbow, fingers squeezing just hard enough to blanch the skin. "Don't make it hard," she murmured. I turned my head and looked straight at my sister. I didn't look away. In my mind, I saw her as a kid bossing me around. Saw her at our parents' funeral acting like she was in charge of the family. Saw her now with that same hunger in her eyes. The difference was this time I wasn't giving in. "I will read first," I said, steady and calm. Melissa's mouth twitched. Tyler gave a single laugh, sharp and short. "It's all standard," he said. "We already explained it. No need to waste time." I set the pen back on the table. Then I reached into my purse again, fingers closing around the envelope. Smooth motion, no hesitation. I drew it out and slid it beneath the deposit slip with my ID, pushing them toward Donna. "Here are my documents," I said clearly. Donna's eyes met mine for just a second longer than normal. She gave the faintest nod, almost invisible, then picked up the stack with steady hands. "I'll make copies," she said lightly, like everything was normal. She stood, walked to the copier outside, and shut the office door behind her. Melissa leaned close to me again, whispering sharp in my ear. "Don't try anything, Jess. You'll regret it." I didn't answer. My hands stayed flat on the table, steady as stone. Tyler's knee bounced faster. Melissa's perfume filled the air, and the hum of the white noise machine covered the silence. Donna's footsteps faded down the hall, and the hum of the copier started up in the background. I sat still, hands resting on the table, breathing slow and even. Melissa shifted next to me, her leg bouncing against the chair, her perfume sharp enough to sting my nose. Tyler leaned back with his arms crossed, eyes darting between the glass wall and me, like he was trying to figure out if I'd break under pressure. What neither of them understood was that pressure was my natural environment. I'd spent half my life under it. Hot zones, split-second calls, bad intel, sudden ambushes. This little room with their fake smiles and cheap intimidation tactics wasn't anything new. Different setting, same playbook. My fingers brushed my bag again, making sure the zipper was still shut over the recorder tucked inside. The little red light hidden near the clip glowed faint. Everything they said was already being logged. They hadn't noticed it yet, and I didn't plan to point it out until the right moment. Timing was everything. Melissa leaned in, whispering through clenched teeth. Stop being difficult. It's one line. One line and we'll be finished. I didn't flinch. I stared at the table, counting the seconds in my head. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4. It was the same breathing drill I used in the field before clearing a building. Keep the mind steady. Keep the hands steady. Tyler broke the silence. You know what's funny? You trusted me enough to let me drive your car here, but you can't trust us to handle a little paperwork. His smile was stretched thin, his jaw too tight. Come on, Jess. You've been gone half your life playing soldier. Let someone else take care of things for once. I turned my head and looked at him. Taking care of things doesn't start with a lie. That shut him up for a beat. His eyes narrowed, but Melissa grabbed his hand under the table to keep him from snapping. She knew losing his temper would ruin their pitch. The copier hummed again down the hall, then went quiet. I knew Donna would have seen the note by now. Whether she was already on the phone or just pocketing it for the right moment, I couldn't tell. But I trusted her enough to play her part. She didn't strike me as someone who looked away when something didn't add up. Melissa tapped the page again. Harder this time. Look, we're not leaving until this is signed. The longer you stall, the harder you make it. Do you want people out there to start staring? You want to embarrass yourself? I looked at her finger on the paper. You think embarrassment is my concern right now? Her nostrils flared. But before she could shoot back, the door opened and Donna walked in carrying a plastic sleeve. She set it down on the table. Here we are, she said lightly. Copies for our file. Copies for you. She handed me my ID back with one slip of paper tucked underneath. The envelope was back in the stack right where I'd left it. Donna hadn't exposed anything yet. Smart move. She poured 2 small paper cups of water from a tray she carried in with her. Here you go, she said, setting one in front of me, the other near Tyler. Tyler didn't touch his. I picked mine up and drank slow, eyes on Donna. Her calm was deliberate, and I could read the signals the way I used to read terrain maps. Something was in motion, even if Melissa and Tyler hadn't figured it out yet. Donna placed a small recorder on the table, clicking the red button. A light blinked on. We record reviews for accuracy. Protects everyone. Do I have your consent? She asked, looking at me first. Yes, I said flat. Melissa's smile slipped. Is that necessary? It's standard, Donna replied smoothly. Tyler muttered under his breath, but he nodded. Melissa followed. Donna opened the folder to the page Melissa had been tapping. She looked at me directly. Miss Wardell, in your own words, can you tell me what these forms would do if you signed them? I kept my voice even. They give my sister and her husband control of my accounts, my house, and my decisions without me. Melissa's smile snapped off her face. That's not true. Donna held up her hand. You'll have a chance to explain in a moment. I need Miss Wardell's answer first. Tyler leaned forward, a vein standing out in his neck. She doesn't understand the paperwork. That's why we're here. I met his eyes. I understand it better than you think. Donna didn't react, but I saw the tiny shift in her jaw that said she had already clocked everything. She flipped the page, scanning the notary stamp. Her brow barely moved, but I caught it. Something was off. She didn't comment. Not yet. Melissa cleared her throat, trying to steer things back. Jess, you're tired. You shouldn't have to handle bills and phone calls. This is for your own good. For my own good, I repeated. My voice was dry. Right. The hum of the white noise machine filled the gap again. Tyler bounced his leg harder, shaking the table. Melissa fiddled with the edge of the folder, fingers tapping like a nervous tick. I thought about Afghanistan, about a briefing where we'd been told to expect a calm morning patrol, routine, the CEO had called it. 15 minutes later, our convoy got ambushed. Ever since then, I'd never trusted the word routine. And here was my sister using it like it was a promise. Donna finally set her pen down and looked at us as a group. Before we move forward, I'll need to verify the notary commission. Our policy requires it. That'll take a few minutes. Tyler scoffed. Seriously? That's ridiculous. We brought everything we need. Just let her sign. Melissa's voice sharpened. Jess, tell her it's fine. Tell her we don't need to waste time. I folded my hands on the table. Steady, calm. She's following policy. Donna gave me the faintest nod, almost invisible. Tyler muttered again, too low for Donna to hear, but not low enough for me to miss it. Don't make this messy. The recorder clipped inside my bag caught every word. I breathed in slow, steady, and set my shoulders back. No panic, no weakness, just patience. The door latch clicked faintly out in the hall. Someone else had arrived. Melissa didn't notice. Tyler didn't notice, but I did. The faint click outside the office barely registered with Melissa, but I heard it the way I'd hear a rifle safety being switched off. Years in uniform train your ears to pick out what matters. I didn't move, but I knew something had shifted in the hallway. Donna kept her calm expression, though I caught the way her hand slid casually over the recorder, pressing the button again to be sure it was still running. Angela walked by in the hallway with a folder in her hand, pretending to sort paperwork. Her glance through the glass wall lasted less than a second, but it landed squarely on me. She saw the way Melissa's arm pressed too tight against mine, saw Tyler leaning forward with that fake casual posture, and she didn't look away like most people would. She gave me one quick blink like a signal, then kept walking. Tyler leaned across the table, lowering his voice. "Jess, don't drag this out. We've got things to do after this, and you don't want to waste everyone's time. Just sign and we can all move on." Melissa added her weight with a smile too bright. "Think about it, Jess. You're always so busy. This makes life simple. You know I'd never let anything bad happen to you." I turned my head slowly to face her. "You're hurting me right now." Her smile faltered. Her hand loosened on my arm, but she didn't pull it away completely. Tyler shot her a quick look, and I saw it. The little crack in their teamwork. He wanted speed. She wanted to keep the mask on, and their strategies didn't line up. Donna cleared her throat lightly, not rushing. "Miss Wardell, before any signatures, I'll need to confirm account details directly with you." Standard policy. She placed extra weight on those two words, letting me know she was building a wall for me to stand behind. Melissa tried to cut in. "She has trouble keeping track of, I'll ask Miss Wardell directly," Donna said, still calm. "We'll handle the details one at a time." Tyler leaned back, his jaw tight. "This is ridiculous." Donna didn't answer him. She looked straight at me. "Miss Wardell, how long have you been a customer with us?" 10 years, I said evenly. "And how do you normally pay your bills?" "Checks," I said. "First and 15th of every month." Donna nodded, jotting notes like it was all routine. But her eyes flicked to Angela, who had stopped at her desk outside. That small look was a message passed without words. Angela's fingers went to her keyboard, and I knew she was hitting the alert system, the kind every bank teller gets trained to use, but rarely has to press. Melissa must have felt the tension rising because she leaned closer and whispered hard into my ear. "Don't try to be a hero, Jess. This isn't the army. You don't get medals here." I didn't whisper back. I said it out loud, voice clear enough for Donna to hear. "Good thing I'm not doing this for a medal." Melissa jerked her head back like I'd slapped her. Tyler shifted in his chair, restless, his leg bouncing like a jackhammer. Donna kept her tone smooth. "Why don't I make a few calls to confirm the documents with our legal team? In the meantime, Miss Wardell, is there someone you trust we could add as a point of contact on your account? Just in case." "Yes," I said. "My brother, Jonathan." Melissa snapped. "That's not necessary." Donna gave her a polite smile that didn't touch her eyes. "It's part of our know your customer process." I could see Tyler's patience thinning by the second. He leaned forward again, voice dropping into a growl. "Jess, don't stall. Sign the papers now." The recorder in my purse caught every syllable. Donna heard it too, but she didn't react. She slid the papers back toward herself like she was reviewing them again, but I knew she was buying time. Angela reappeared at the doorway with 2 cups of water balanced on a tray. "Thought you might need these," she said casually. Her eyes flicked at me just once. She set the cups down and left as quietly as she came. Tyler shoved 1 cup toward me like it was proof he was being polite. "Drink, relax, then sign." I picked it up, took a sip, then set it back down. My hands didn't shake. I wanted him to see that. Melissa let out a sharp sigh. "Jess, I'm begging you. Don't make this ugly. It's family. We're looking out for you. Do you think strangers will care what happens to you? Do you think the army will? We're your family." I turned my head and met her eyes full on. Family doesn't threaten me. Family doesn't shove a pen into my hand. Whatever this is, it isn't family. Her face went pale under the layers of makeup. Tyler looked ready to explode, but Donna spoke first. Voice steady. "All right, we'll pause here. I'll step out to verify these documents." She gathered the folder neatly, stood, and gave Angela another subtle glance. Angela's hand moved under her desk. The guard near the front door shifted his weight. The latch on the main entrance clicked softly, switching to controlled entry. Customers could still leave, but no one new would be allowed in. Melissa caught on just enough to panic. Why are you locking doors? What is this? Donna smiled politely. Just standard security, protects all our clients. Tyler muttered something I didn't catch, his face tightening, but he didn't make a move. Melissa pressed her hands flat on the table, trying to hold her composure. I sat steady, eyes on the hallway, breath calm, shoulders squared. My pulse was slow, not racing. If this was a mission, it was right on track. The hum of the white noise machine filled the room again. The camera above us blinked steadily, and the only sound from Tyler was the nervous tap of his finger against the table. Donna didn't let Melissa's panic push her off course. She carried the folder like it was routine and stepped toward the copier again. The air in the office had shifted. Tyler's jaw worked side to side, his knee bouncing fast enough to shake the table. Melissa sat stiff, clutching her purse like it might keep her plan from slipping away. The guard near the door of the branch adjusted his stance, eyes scanning the lobby with the calm of someone who knew exactly what he was looking at. Customers were still moving through their transactions, unaware that anything was happening behind the glass wall. That was the genius of Donna's calm. She'd made a dangerous situation look like another Tuesday morning. She came back into the room, set the folder down, and smoothed the pages. "Thank you for your patience," she said evenly. Her voice was steady, professional, but her eyes stayed locked on me for half a second longer than normal. It was a signal I understood. I wasn't alone in this room anymore. Melissa tried to regain her ground with a forced laugh. "See? All fine. Can we move on?" Donna smiled, not giving an inch. She reached down to the small white noise machine in the corner and clicked the dial a notch higher. The hum grew soft but noticeable. Tyler frowned. "What's that for?" "Privacy," Donna answered simply. She placed the recorder squarely on the table, pressing the red button. "We document reviews to protect all parties. It's standard." Melissa blinked hard. "That's not necessary. This is just a family matter." Donna didn't flinch. When documents involve control of accounts and property, it's no longer just family. It's business, and business is documented. I almost smiled. That was exactly what I needed. Someone drawing a hard line without raising her voice. Tyler leaned forward, trying to take back control. She already agreed to this. We talked it over. She knows what she's signing. Donna turned to me directly. "Miss Wardell, do you want to sign these forms?" Melissa jumped in before I could speak. "Of course, she does." I asked Miss Wardell," Donna repeated, firmer now. I kept my voice even. "I haven't agreed to anything. I will read everything myself before I decide." Donna nodded. "That's the only correct answer." Melissa's smile cracked at the edges. Tyler exhaled through his nose like a bull about to charge. He didn't make a move, but his whole posture screamed impatience. Donna flipped to the first page of the packet, scanning the notary seal. Her brow twitched just enough for me to notice. She lifted her phone and dialed a short number. "This is Whitaker at Riverdale Community. I need verification on a notary commission number." Her tone was smooth. Nothing dramatic. She gave the number, waited, and then said, "I'll hold." Melissa's hand shot out, fingers gripping the edge of the folder. "There's no need for that. It's all valid." Donna placed her hand gently on top of the page, pinning it down without force. "We verify everything. Protects all of you as much as it protects the bank." Tyler muttered. "This is a waste of time." But Donna ignored him. While she waited, she asked, "Miss Wardell, do you have a trusted contact we should list on your account? Someone we can reach if we can't get you directly?" "Yes," I said. "My brother Jonathan." Melissa snapped. "That's not necessary. We're here. We are the ones helping." Donna didn't even glance her way. "Thank you, Miss Wardell," she said, jotting the name on a form. Her phone clicked and she listened carefully, pen tapping once on the table. "I see. Thank you." She hung up, slid the phone aside, and calmly folded her hands. Melissa shifted in her seat. "Well," Donna looked her straight in the eye. "The commission number you provided doesn't exist." The silence that followed was sharp. Tyler's mouth opened, then closed. Melissa's face flushed. She scrambled for words. "Maybe it was a typo. That doesn't mean anything." Donna didn't raise her voice. "It means this document cannot be processed at all." She turned to me. "Miss Wardell, do you have your own attorney?" "No," I said. "She doesn't need one," Melissa said quickly. "It's routine." Donna's eyes stayed on me. "I recommend you get one before signing anything. That's the safe approach." I nodded once. Tyler's hand slammed against the table. The sound made a couple of heads turn out in the lobby. He leaned in, teeth clenched. "You're dragging this out. Jess, sign the damn papers." The recorder blinked red, capturing every syllable. Donna didn't flinch. "Sir, keep your voice down. This is a bank, not your living room." Melissa grabbed his arm, hissing. "Stop it." Her smile snapped back into place as she turned to Donna. "I'm sorry. He's just worried about time. We've got other appointments today." Donna didn't return the smile. She pressed another button on the recorder, marking the timestamp. "I'll need to ask you both to step into the lobby shortly while I confirm further details with Miss Wardell. Policy requires I speak with the account holder alone." "No way," Tyler shot back. "She needs us to explain it. She gets confused." I spoke before Donna could. "I'm not confused." "I do." That froze him for half a second. Melissa's fingers dug into his sleeve, urging him to shut up. Donna stood, smoothing her jacket. "I'll be right back." She gathered a thin stack of papers and left the office again. Calm as ever, the door clicked shut. Tyler immediately leaned across the table toward me. "You think you're smart? You think dragging this out is going to save you?" His voice was low. "Dangerous." Melissa whispered urgently. "Stop, Tyler." "Not now." But he didn't stop. "Sign it, Jess. Or you'll regret this." I stared at him without blinking. My shoulders stayed square. My hands flat on the table. The recorder clipped inside my purse, and the one on the desk glowed steady red. Every word he said was being captured. Melissa saw it too late. Her face drained of color, and she shifted her chair back slightly. The latch at the front of the bank clicked again. Controlled entry. The guard adjusted his stance. Customers in the lobby went on with their deposits and withdrawals, but the air had thickened like the walls themselves were listening. Inside the office, the hum of the white noise machine grew louder against the silence. Melissa tapped her nails against the folder. Tyler clenched his fists and I sat steady, breathing slow, waiting for the next move. Tyler's fists drummed against the table, each thud sharp enough to carry through the glass. Melissa whispered frantically, trying to reel him back in, but his face was tight with frustration. I kept my voice flat, calm, the way I used to in briefings where younger soldiers thought yelling would make them sound stronger. I said, "I'll read everything first." He shoved the pen closer, pressing it against my fingers. "Read it later. Just sign." Melissa chimed in, her tone sweet but brittle. "Jess, honey, don't make this so hard. We're just protecting you. Bills, taxes, all that stress. It's not good for you. One signature and it all goes away." I turned the pen in my hand, placed it gently on the table, and looked her straight in the eye. If this is protection, why does it feel like a threat? The recorder blinked red on the desk. Donna's placement of it wasn't an accident. Melissa stiffened, forcing a thin laugh. "You're being dramatic." She nudged the folder toward me again, her manicured nails tapping the space she wanted signed. "Just initials here, here, and here." I leaned closer, scanning the page. Bold letters glared back at me. Durable power of attorney. My name written, her name lined up next to it. "This would give you complete control," I said evenly. "Over everything I own." "That's the point," Tyler snapped. "We handle it for you. You don't have to worry anymore." "I can worry just fine on my own," I said. Melissa's smile cracked. "Jess, stop acting like we're stealing from you. We're family." "Family doesn't shove papers down my throat." Tyler slammed his palm flat again. "Sign it." The hum of the white noise machine filled the silence that followed. Customers outside shifted, glancing toward the glass office. Angela stood at her station, eyes sharp, pretending to organize slips. The guard's hand rested lightly near his belt, not threatening, but ready. I straightened in my chair, voice firm. I said, "I'll read it." Out loud. Melissa's eyes darted to Tyler, panic flashing for the first time. She tried to mask it with another brittle laugh. "She's being stubborn, that's all. Always has been." Donna slipped back into the room at that moment, carrying a new folder. "Apologies for the delay," she said smoothly. She sat down, set the papers on the table, and turned the recorder slightly so its red light glowed brighter. "Before anything else, I need to verify a few points." Tyler growled. "We've wasted enough time. Just let her sign." Donna met his glare without blinking. I said, "Verify." She opened the folder, flipping slowly. "Miss Wardell, can you explain in your own words what these forms do?" I spoke clearly, my voice cutting through the tension. "They give Melissa and Tyler control over my money, my house, and my decisions. They could move or sell. Everything without asking me." Melissa shot forward. That's not true. She's quiet, Donna said, still calm, but edged with steel. Miss Wardell is the account holder. She'll answer. Tyler's face flushed red. His jaw flexed. Donna slid another paper into view. This notary seal is invalid. Do you know who prepared these forms? Melissa stammered. A mobile notary. It's all standard. Donna didn't look up. Standard documents don't come with fake commission numbers, and no valid notary leaves a smudged seal like this. She tapped the corner of the page. This is forgery. The word hung in the air like a gunshot. Melissa's hands froze on the folder. Tyler's knees stopped bouncing. Their silence was louder than their shouting. I felt the weight of my years in uniform settle into my chest. I'd faced worse pressure in interrogation rooms overseas, and the trick was always the same. Stay steady while the other side cracked. So, you wanted me to sign fraudulent papers? I said calmly. Melissa's voice came out strained. No, Jess, it's not like that. Then what is it? I asked. Her mouth opened, but nothing came out. Tyler tried to recover, his tone dropping into something almost pleading. Jess, we're just trying to help. We can't keep driving down every week, checking on you, making sure you're okay. This would simplify everything. That's not help, I said. That's control. Donna wrote a note on her pad in neat, deliberate strokes. For the record, customer is under visible pressure from family members. Recommended welfare check. Melissa's head snapped up. Welfare check? That's absurd. We're her family. We're the ones who care. I turned to Donna. Family doesn't give me bruises. Melissa went white. Tyler froze, his eyes darting to my arm, where faint marks still showed. The guard stepped a half-foot closer to the office door. Still calm, but now unmistakably on alert. Donna spoke evenly, as if nothing unusual had been said. We'll need to take a short pause while I escalate this to compliance. She stacked the papers neatly, stood, and gave Angela a signal with just a tilt of her head. Angela's hand slid under her desk again. Melissa leaned in close to me, whispering through clenched teeth. If you do this, Jess, you'll regret it. Don't you dare embarrass us. I turned my head just enough for the recorder to catch my words. Safe doesn't hurt. This hurts. Tyler hissed. Shut up. Donna returned almost immediately, her calm like armor. Our legal team has confirmed these documents cannot be honored. Until further notice, your accounts are locked against changes. She sat, folded her hands, and looked squarely at me. Miss Wardell, do you want to proceed with signing anything today? No, I said. Melissa shot up in her chair. She doesn't know what she's saying. Tyler rose halfway out of his seat, fists clenched. The guard stepped into full view of the doorway now. His presence alone was enough to push Tyler back down, muttering curses under his breath. Donna didn't move a muscle. Then nothing will be signed. The white noise hummed louder, filling every crack of silence. Melissa's eyes darted, searching for a foothold that wasn't there. Tyler glared at me like I'd betrayed him in battle. I sat steady, my hands flat on the table, the recorder capturing every beat of their unraveling. Donna didn't flinch under Melissa's outburst. She reached for the folder again, flipping through the pages with calm precision, her eyes scanning each line. These aren't standard forms, she said finally. The formatting is inconsistent. The language is off, and the seal is not only smudged, it's copied from an online template. That's fraud. Melissa sputtered, her voice going high and thin. You can't prove that. Anyone could make a mistake with a stamp. Donna slid the page across the table so it faced me. Look here, she said, tapping the corner. Real notary stamps always include a commission expiration date. This one doesn't. It's a copy and paste job. I studied it carefully. Years of military reports had trained me to catch small details. The wrong date, a misplaced signature, a line that didn't add up. She was right. The spacing was uneven. The ink too uniform. It wasn't just sloppy. It was fake. Tyler tried to cut in with his usual aggression. This is ridiculous. Are you even qualified to say what's real and what isn't? You're just a branch manager. Donna didn't blink. Our compliance team has already confirmed it. Forgery. And forgery tied to financial exploitation is a felony. The word hit like a grenade. Melissa's face drained of color. Tyler leaned back in his chair, his bravado slipping. For a split second, I saw what he really was. Cornered, exposed, scrambling for ground. Donna turned to me directly. Miss Wardell, do you understand that if you had signed these, you would have legally surrendered all control of your home, your savings, and your retirement benefits? I kept my voice steady. Yes, I understand. She nodded. And do you want to grant that authority to your sister and her husband? No, I said. Melissa's chair screeched against the floor as she lurched forward. Jess, don't do this. We're your family. You can't just hand everything to strangers. What about loyalty? What about blood? I looked at her without blinking. Blood doesn't give you the right to rob me. The guard shifted his stance outside the door, close enough now that everyone noticed. Angela stood behind her counter, her hand near the phone, eyes fixed on Donna for the next cue. Donna spoke again, her tone even but unshakable. For the record, the account holder has declined to sign. The documents presented show multiple red flags of fraud. This matter is being escalated. Tyler slammed his palm on the table again. But this time, it wasn't anger. It was desperation. You don't get it. We needed this. We had plans. We can't just walk out with nothing. Melissa hissed at him. Shut up. But it was too late. His words were on the recorder, logged forever. Donna leaned back slightly, folding her hands. Tell me, Mr. Grant, what plans exactly? He froze, eyes darting between her and me. It's none of your business. It became my business the second you walked into my branch with fraudulent papers, she replied. Melissa tried to soften the moment with a shaky laugh. Look, maybe the notary made a mistake. Maybe something got mixed up. We'll fix it later. Donna shook her head. That's not how the law works. She tapped the recorder. We have a full audio record. Combined with the note Miss Wardell slipped to me earlier. We have clear evidence of undue influence. Melissa whipped her head toward me, eyes wide with betrayal. You gave her a note? I didn't move. Yes. Tyler's fists clenched. He muttered something under his breath that sounded like a threat. But Donna cut him off. Be very careful what you say right now. Everything is being recorded. Every word, every gesture, every mark on Miss Wardell's arm. Melissa's gaze dropped to the faint bruise I hadn't bothered to hide. She swallowed hard, realizing how damning it looked. Donna rose smoothly, gathering the papers. These documents are invalid. They will not be processed. Miss Wardell retains full control of her assets. She turned to Angela, who slipped quietly into the room with a new folder in hand. Donna took it, slid a clean form in front of me, and explained, this is a trusted contact authorization. It simply allows us to call someone you name if we suspect you're under pressure. Again, no authority, no power of attorney, just a safety line. Would you like to add your brother, Jonathan? Yes, I said. Melissa slammed her hand against the table. No, she doesn't need Jonathan. Donna ignored her completely, her focus only on me. Miss Wardell, do you confirm you want Jonathan Wardell as your trusted contact? Yes, I repeated. Angela jotted the details quickly, her pen moving with the precision of someone who knew how important it was. She slid the page toward me, and I signed it in neat block letters. My signature felt steady, controlled, deliberate, the opposite of the scribbled panic Melissa and Tyler had been pushing for. Donna placed the signed page into her folder and gave me the faintest nod. A soldier would have recognized it instantly, the signal that the perimeter was secured. Melissa slumped back, defeated for the first time. Tyler muttered curses under his breath, his bravado collapsing. The fight in them wasn't gone, but it was rattled. Donna didn't gloat. She didn't need to. She simply stated the facts. This branch will place a hold on all account changes pending a full legal review. Our legal team has already flagged the documents you brought. Law enforcement will be contacted as required under elder financial abuse protocols. Melissa looked like she'd been slapped. You can't call the police. This is family business. Donna's voice was calm steel. Family business ends the second fraud begins. The guard shifted again, his hand resting more firmly near his belt. Angela's eyes flicked toward the front door, which was now firmly latched. Customers came and went in the background, unaware that inside this office, a family's mask had cracked wide open. Melissa whispered almost to herself, she set us up. I answered evenly, no, you set yourselves up. Tyler's hands clenched tighter, but he didn't speak again. The walls of the office seemed to press in around them. Donna sat back, folding her hands neatly. Miss Wardell, you did exactly the right thing. You stayed calm. You used the tools you had, and now you're safe. The white noise machine hummed on, steady as ever, while the silence between Melissa and Tyler stretched into something heavy. The illusion of control they had walked in with was gone. The low murmur of the branch went quiet for a moment when the front door opened. Two uniformed officers stepped inside, moving with the steady confidence of people used to walking into uncertain situations. The guard near the entrance gave them a subtle nod, then locked the latch again. Customers glanced up, then quickly returned to their transactions, pretending not to notice, but listening with both ears. Donna rose smoothly and opened the office door just enough for her voice to carry. "In here, officers." Melissa's face went pale. Tyler straightened in his chair, his shoulders squared like he wanted to project control, but his tapping fingers betrayed him. The first officer was tall with calm eyes and a notepad already in hand. "I'm Officer Ramirez. This is Officer Dana Lee. We were called regarding possible financial exploitation in progress." Donna gestured toward the table. "Thank you for coming. The situation is documented. We have video, audio, and the documents themselves." I met her. Ramirez nodded once and stepped into the room. His partner followed, scanning everything with sharp eyes. The folder, the recorder, the bruises on my arm. She didn't miss a detail. Melissa tried to stand, smiling too brightly. "Oh, this is a misunderstanding. We're family. We're just here helping Jessica with her accounts." Officer Lee's gaze didn't shift from my arm. "Ma'am, how did you get that bruise?" Melissa's smile twitched. "She bruises easily." She bumped a chair. I said it clearly. She squeezed me. The silence after that was louder than any argument. Tyler looked away, his jaw tight. Melissa sat down hard, her face stiff. Ramirez pulled out a small camera. "Miss Wardell, with your permission, I'd like to photograph the injury." "Go ahead." He leaned in, snapped a clear close-up, then jotted the time and date. He glanced at the recorder on the desk. "Is this device running?" "Yes," Donna answered. "Good," Ramirez said. He set his notepad down and folded his hands. "Miss Wardell, do you feel pressured to sign documents today that you don't want to sign?" "Yes." "And who is pressuring you?" "My sister Melissa and her husband Tyler." Ramirez nodded calmly, no surprise in his face. "And do you understand what those documents would have done if you'd signed them?" "Yes. They would have given them full control of my money and property." "Do you feel safe with them at your home?" "No." Melissa jumped in, her voice cracking. "That's not true." She's confused. "She's been forgetful for months and we've been stepping in so she doesn't get taken advantage of by strangers. We're protecting her." Ramirez didn't even look at her. He turned to Donna. "Manager Whitaker. What steps has the bank taken?" Donna's voice was steady. "I initiated an in-branch hold, contacted compliance, and confirmed the notary stamp was invalid. I also received a written note from Miss Wardell indicating she was under duress. We've preserved all evidence and locked account access against changes." Ramirez wrote quickly. Officer Lee shifted to stand directly behind Melissa and Tyler. Her presence firm but not aggressive. Tyler noticed, his shoulders tensing. I reached into my purse, pulled out the small tie pin I'd clipped earlier, and placed it on the table. "This record's too. Everything they said in the car. Everything they said in here." Ramirez's eyebrows lifted just slightly. He picked it up carefully. "We'll need to review this." "Thank you." Tyler snapped. "You can't just take that. That's private." Ramirez's tone didn't change. "Sir, evidence of potential exploitation is not private. It's required." Melissa leaned forward, her voice shrill. "She's setting us up. She's making us look like criminals. We're her family." I looked at her flatly. "Family doesn't corner me into signing fake papers." Officer Lee jotted notes, then asked, "Who provided these documents?" Melissa's words tumbled out too fast. "A notary named Rick. He's legitimate. He's helped other families." Donna cut in, her voice crisp. "Compliance confirmed. No such commission number exists. This Rick isn't in state records." Ramirez scribbled it down. "Forgery then." Tyler's head snapped toward Melissa. "I told you this was a bad idea." Her face twisted. "You were the one who said it would work." Their voices overlapped, rising until Donna raised a hand. "Enough. This is a professional environment." The tension in the room tightened like a wire. Outside the office, customers pretended to focus on their receipts, but every ear was tuned in. Angela stood ready behind her counter,